What's up, Misfit Nation? Welcome to another episode of the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I'm your host, Matt the Misfit. Tonight we're going to go over this incredible, phenomenal episode of Dynamite for January the 11th, 2023 from Los Angeles, California. We've seen new champions crowned in the Trios Champions as the Elite have recaptured the AEW Trios Championships for the second time in their career. We had an incredible opening match between Hangman Adam Page and Jon Moxley, another great match with Bryan Danielson and Konosuke, and no Mercedes Moné, because we had the return of one Adam Cole. Baby, yes, that's right. Adam Cole is back, and he is better than ever, and he is ready to kick some ass and take some names and probably chew some bubblegum. Maybe. I don't know if he's a Roddy Piper fan or not. He probably is. But we're going to go over that much more. If you like what you see here, hit the subscribe button, comment down below, do the little like buttons and all that stuff. Follow the social medias at Misfit Podcast TV on Twitter, at Misfit Wrestling Pod on Instagram, Misfit Wrestling Podcast on Facebook, right here on youtube.com/at Misfit Wrestling Podcast. You can find us on all the other streaming outlets, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, Google Podcast, and Pandora and iHeartRadio, and we're on Stitcher. I always keep forgetting Stitcher when I do these reads. Last night was a very, very awkwardly odd thing going on here with all the talks of WWE possibly getting sold to Saudi Arabia. That's not true. That's not happening. Thank God it was only a rumor. But I did hear everything else everybody was hearing of the possible sale. Thank God it's not likely to happen with the Saudi Arabia. If I had to make a guess, I do think NBC Universal / Comcast is going to buy AEW. Not AEW. What the hell is that damn company? WWE. Right now, nothing else seems to be going on with that, but that is neither here or there. We're going to talk about AEW Dynamite, though. This show was fucking great. I loved this show so much. Phenomenal stuff. Like I said, we opened AEW Dynamite with a phenomenal match between Jon Moxley and Hangman Adam Page. This was the rematch from I believe back in November-ish, when Moxley defended the AEW Championship against Hangman Adam Page in Adam Page's rematch for the AEW title, and the match was thrown out due to Adam Hangman Page getting legitimately concussed. But this match was fucking brutal. Match starts, the bell rings. These two behemoths start battling out. One another, just going blow to blow. At one point in the match, Moxley dropped Page with a lariat. At one point, Moxley is dropped with the lariat by Hangman Page, who continues to fight back. They go back and forth. More strikes as Hangman Page screams for more, because Moxley's just pounding on Page. And Hangman's just like, bring it, motherfucker. I think that's what he said. I am not sure. So Moxley gets into the ring, gets sent across the ring, sideways slam. Moxley looks for a German suplex, and Page lands on his feet. Then blocks the lariat, spins into his own lariat. Moxley go out to the Moxley heads out to the floor. Page heads to the top rope, connects with a big diving moonsault, the moonsault he's prone to do, the one onto the outside. Back into the ring. Page is about to go for the buckshot lariat. Moxley reverses to the Death Rider, which Page kicks out of, which is fucking brutal. He follows it up with a hammer. The hammer and the elbow strikes that he's known to be doing, and then locks in the bulldog choke. As they get up, Moxley hits a pile driver on Hangman Page. Page was able to kick out at one. They did the whole Kenny Omega kick out at one thing. Moxley then flip off the fans as they were chanting cowboy shit. He looks to hit another pile driver. Hangman Page reverses that into a dead eye, only for Moxley to respond with a stomp, the curb stomp, as both men are down. Crowd is going, fight forever, and they're just loving it. They're eating this up. So once they're back to their feet, they go back and forth with elbow strikes, headbutts, and hand slaps as they are trying to stand. They're getting a standing ovation here by the crowd. Page, the big lariat, immediately comes back with buckshot lariat to keep Page down, or Moxley down rather, and Hangman Page pins Jon Moxley clean. So I could be wrong here, and I don't want to be wrong, but to my knowledge, this is the first time Moxley's ever been pinned clean in AEW. Unless I'm missing something. I know MJF did not beat Moxley clean. Nope, that's not true. Okay, hold on. I just remembered CM Punk did beat him clean at All Out last year. So this is the second time that Moxley's been pinned cleaned in the span of 5 months, 5 months now. First being CM Punk, this one being with Hangman Page. As the other times in one-on-one matches, rather, MJF and Hangman Page, MJF and Kenny Omega did cheat to beat when they won the titles their title from Moxley. But this match was phenomenal. I would go back and watch this match again. This was great. I'm hoping this is where Moxley finally takes his fucking vacation that he so deserves. He was supposed to take a vacation 5 months ago. But with all the stuff that happened with Punk and the Elite, he stepped up and decided, you know what? I'll do it. So, but this is a great match. As Hangman Page is celebrating, the doctors come down to the ring and start checking on Moxley. It seems like they're, like I said, trying to what's the word I'm looking for? Write him off for a while. And he'll probably be back for like a Revolution, depending on what they want to do with that. Next up, Tony Schiavone is in the ring. Says he takes no pleasure in welcoming him the next guest. Out comes the returning Adam Cole, which tries the hell out of everybody, including the commentators who said, and this was on the Fightful Rundown, that said the segment was listed as a TBD. Adam Cole comes out for the first time since Forbidden Door. And actually, I believe this is not the first time since Forbidden Door. I believe this is the first time since, or it might be. It actually might be for the first. No, it's not actually. And I don't want to think about it. He was last time we saw Adam Cole was on an episode of Dynamite in August. They were getting ready to set up the Trios tournament, and Adam Cole turned on the Elite with Fish and O'Reilly. This is a few months or so before Fish left AEW and before Kyle O'Reilly went down with his neck injury, which speedy recovery to Kyle O'Reilly, who's going through some tough shit there. So hopefully he gets better soon. Miss Kyle O'Reilly very, very much, as I missed Adam Cole. Everyone missed Adam Cole. Fans were chanting, singing his theme song, doing the Adam Cole Baby chant. So he comes out here and says, "Who's ready for a story time with Adam Cole, baby?" And he tells the fans that the fans pop. He tells the fans they have no idea how much he's wanted to say that, and he says he's been thinking about what he's wanted to say for a long time. Cole admits there's good news, and this is a good news, bad news situation. After hearing that he's been, after everything he's gone through, he has a new appreciation for pro wrestling and his life. All he ever wanted to do is be a professional wrestler. and he says that he's done some cool stuff, including being being with the top being with the best wrestling promotion in the world is what he says. I'm talking about AEW. He says that he realizes how much he misses being here, and he's been banged up with serious back to back injuries. Talking about the 2 concussions and the shoulder torn labrum that he had back at. I think he suffered that at Revolution in his match with Hangman Page, which he did refuse, from my understanding, did refuse to get surgery for that because he wanted to heal it, do the let it play out part of it. But he has been. Cole said he was scared, seeing doctors multiple times a week, had serious dizzy spells, and if he was in the car for more than 15 minutes, he would vomit. Cole struggled with anxiety and when he slept, and he had to pace. He had to pace back and forth and whatnot. And Britt Baker would check on him to see if he was okay. He admitted to her that he didn't know what was happening to him. Fans didn't know either, which is true. We didn't know exactly what was going on with Adam Cole because we hadn't heard any other updates besides, he's got a torn labrum, he's got a concussion. But Cole notes many times that fans were here for him, and he appreciates that. He appreciates us and the fans giving all that love and support that he was given, like things like we miss Adam Cole. I hope Adam Cole's doing all right. I don't care if Adam Cole wrestles again. I just want to make sure he's okay. Those type of things, which is great stuff. Adam Cole is the coolest dude on the planet. Cole says now that it's time for the bad news. However, bad news is done for him. The bad news was the rest of the entire AEW locker room, because Adam Cole is back. He's not going anywhere. His career was over, and he thought he was finished for sure. But instead, he says he's not done yet. He has been he's been one of the best wrestlers on the planet for the past 15 years, which is true. His run as NXT champion, some of the best work I've ever seen in my life. That match he had with Bryan Danielson on SmackDown was beautiful stuff. The matches he's had with Gargano, matches he's had with Tommaso Ciampa, Aleister Black, the former Aleister Black, now Malachi Black, with what was the match? The first match, he had, the one match he had with Kyle O'Reilly on NXT television, at the Great American Bash, which was, to me, was far better than their 2 takeover matches that they had, and the match he had with Ricochet. And then he had a great match with Hangman Page on Revolution, the AEW title match. They have another great match in that hardcore match with Page on Rampage. Yeah. Despite the concussion, he had a really great 4-way with Okada, Jay White, and who the fuck was in the other person in that match? Hangman Page. There it is for the IWGP title. So, he's had and the matches he had with Kyle O'Reilly in Ring of Honor was great stuff too. I'm excited to see what Adam Cole does next. I'm very happy to see Adam Cole back. He says a new Adam Cole is born, and he will make a promise that one day he'll be on the top of the mountain, probably talking about the AEW World Title. Adam Cole is back. He's back as a babyface. Let's hopefully, Tony Khan doesn't do what he did with Daniel Garcia. Do the babyface turn for like a week and a half, like 2 or 3 weeks, and then just drop it completely. A babyface Adam Cole is what AEW, in my opinion, right now needs. And I'm glad that Adam Cole is back. And you know what? I would not be opposed to seeing Adam Cole be the one to take the title off of MJF. Really, if you really think about it, there's really not very many people right now who should be taking that title off of MJF. As much as I like Wardlow, the way he's been booked since Double or Nothing, he doesn't feel like, oh, let's put the title on him next. I mean, because realistically, like, it was supposed to be like Hangman Page, CM Punk, MJF, but with the whole stuff with Punk breaking his foot and all that stuff, all that stuff in the in the back mirror and all that stuff. But I'm excited to see Adam Cole back. Hopefully, this is a better chance for Tony Khan to book Adam Cole correctly this time. Because like he they didn't seem to book Adam Cole very well the first time around when he was before the injury. He had a great debut at All Out 2 years ago, and he's just over. So, also one thing I did want to mention before I continue the review, it was announced earlier today during, I believe it was, I think it was during either before the press releases, I guess, or before the show, that is. Ring of Honor, Supercard of Honors 6, I believe that's what it is, will take place in Los Angeles on Friday, March 31st during WrestleMania 39 weekend. So, of course, AEW, WWE, and Ring of Honor is going to kill me that weekend. I'm not mentally prepared for that. Oh my god, I gotta figure out how I'm gonna do that week. How I'm gonna review WrestleMania, but I'm gonna review SmackDown. I'm probably just gonna review SmackDown and Ring of Honor that night. There's really no reason to review the Hall of Fame. It's not really I'll watch the Hall of Fame, but I won't review it. So there's that. But I just want to point that out before I go any further. The Acclaim backstage, they basically take a shot at at Vince McMahon and all that stuff with Stephanie McMahon taking over or stepping down, whatnot. Big Bill, Liam Moriarty takes on Jungle Hook. This was fun, a little fun match. Probably the best spot in the match was Hook just coming out of nowhere, belly suplexing fucking Big Bill out of his boots, which looked phenomenal stuff. Snare trap by Jungle Boy Jack Perry onto Liam Moriarty, and he taps out as Hook blocks Big Bill from stopping it. Jungle Hook with the win. So I would love to see this team be a team much further if you wanted to do that. But seeing fucking Hook just launch the shit out of Big Bill was one of the most craziest things I've ever seen in my life. Next up, you got Orange Cassidy backstage with Danhausen. They are backstage with Renee Paquette, who's doing an interview with Paul Walter Hauser, who I guess won a Golden Globe yesterday, which makes sense. He's a Walterhausen now, so which is funny. That's actually very clever. He says he's gonna have to wait till Rampage to show whatever's in the box. He has to ask. I almost said Cassidy Haynes. Shout out to Cassidy Haynes though. Sorry, I know he has a rough week, but you know he's still very good at what he does. He asked Orange Cassidy if he and Trent are still okay. They both awkwardly say yes, and they just move on with their day. Konosuke Takeshita takes on Bryan Danielson next. As before we get into that, MJF starts coming out here. Says Kanishiwa to Konosuke, and Konosuke, I'm pretty sure, like, he starts talking all this shit to Konosuke, but I'm pretty sure Konosuke said both in Japanese and in English, kiss my ass. I think that's what he said in both terms. And that was the case. That is hilarious. We saw Kim Jong at ringside, alongside Freddie Prinze Jr. He talks about Kim Jong's television show being canceled. I believe it was the Wong thing, the Wong show. I forgot the name of the show, but it was a game show that got canceled. I forgot the name of it. And he talks about Freddie Prinze Jr. Then shows his he names someone he wishes he thought was canceled. But, ooh, my favorite line though, he calls Freddie Prinze Jr. a Scooby Dooby douchebag, and I fucking lost my goddamn shit with that. That was hilarious. Probably the usually some of the MJF promos like one-liners don't do much for me. But this was actually great. MJF is great at what he does. The fucking Scooby Dooby douchebag just killed me, and he left, and he was gone for the rest of the show. But Bryan comes out here, like I said, chases MJF away. Then we get this technical match here between Konosuke and Danielson. Danielson gets control with submission locks. Gets control with his submission skills, doing the dragon sleeper. But Konosuke was able to get out of it. Nails Danielson with a forearm strike. The two of them started trading back and forth. Danielson manages to block a few of the forearm strikes that Konosuke was trying to hit on Danielson. Danielson aims for the label lock on Konosuke. Konosuke was able to get to the ropes in time. Bryan Danielson then hits Danielson starts hitting running drop kicks into the corner, his patented drop kicks that he does. But he goes for one too many as Konosuke reverses into a beautiful Blue Thunder Bomb, getting in the off fall. Danielson picks up the pace after that, running with the running elbow strike, which drops Konosuke on just down on the mat. Once again, they start unloading just chops back and forth. Danielson throws Konosuke out to the floor, follows it up with the tope suicida, back into the ring. Konosuke turns things around but as he tries to powerbomb Danielson out of the ring, Danielson counters, then runs and charges into him with the two men crashing and burning on the outside. Konosuke then hits a brainbuster on the fucking floor. And I was like, Jesus Christ! He looks for a senton from that back inside the ring, but Danielson gets these up, puts Konosuke into the label lock. Again, Konosuke gets the rope. Danielson starts firing back with some kicks of his own. The last one was blocked. Konosuke hits an elbow strike. Then they then start throwing things at each other. Konosuke coming out on top with a huge lariat. Despite Danielson's kicks, he is caught with a German suplex. Danielson is caught with a German suplex. Beautiful one, that is. Then a shot to the back of the neck. Danielson avoids the running knee and then hits the bicycle knee kick. And Konosuke just kicks out. I'm like, Jesus Christ, how is this guy's... What is this dude's energy here? Danielson begins stomping on the face. That transitions into the label lock. Konosuke did not tap out. He passed out. And Bryan Danielson is your winner. Next week, this match was great. I still think Moxley and Page was better, but this is my second favorite match of the night. Next week, I cannot wait for next week, because next week, Danielson is going to be wrestling Bandito. And I'm like, are we just going to have Bryan Danielson bangers every week going forward? Up until if that's the case, give me Danielson and Malachi Black at some point, and Danielson versus Pac. Give me any one of those matches, and I'm all for it. We're just gonna give bangers after bangers. I mean, come on. So next up, we got Rock Hard Juice Robinson. Remember Bullet Club, former New Japan pro wrestling wrestler. Speaking of Bullet Club, I talked about this yesterday about Jay White his contract expiring very, very soon with New Japan Pro Wrestling. If you, that's all up on the channel and on the other streaming sites. Look that up if you want to. He says that he's here to kick ass and take names, probably again with more bubblegum, and win championships. He says if Darby Allin is issuing open challenge, is giving out open challenges, he'll answer it at Rampage. Yes, please. Darby Allin, Juice Robinson was made official for the TNT Championship on Rampage. Next up, this is pretty funny. This match featured, I'm going to get this out of the way first. We had Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter, the AEW Women's Champion, and Jamie Hayter take on Toni Storm and Saraya. I love how this what I'm reading off here has Sarayas. I wonder how many Sarayas is teaming with Toni Storm here. I can tell you wasn't teaming with Toni Storm is Mrs. Moné herself. Mercedes Moné was not on this show. She was never going to be on the show. And I put this tweet out here earlier, and I had to stress this very, 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 very much. I see a lot of people try to compare AEW teasing Punk's debut to the boss line from Britt Baker a few weeks ago. Unlike the CM Punk teases, AEW did not keep leaning into the Sasha Banks so-called teases. They announced the match, got about it 2 weeks for about 2 weeks, and they reminded people last week that this match was happening. This is not the same thing. Like it just was not the same thing. So there's that. I mean, I don't know what much more to say, but this match was actually really, really great. This is probably Saraya's better showings. That's a better showing here. I prefer this than whatever the hell that was at. I mean, Full Glare match was fine. It just wasn't, there. Most of the action was with Toni Storm and Jamie Hayter. Again, I'm not really the biggest Britt Baker fan in the ring. I love Jamie Hayter. Toni Storm is great. So at one point in this match, Hikaru Shida comes out of the ring because everybody's wondering because of last week. They had that fun, really great segment last week with all three ladies with Renee Paquette in there. Basically of Toni getting chosen as the partner, and Shida's like, what the hell? We are getting a tease of a Shida heel turn soon, which is great. I cannot wait for Mob Boss Shida to kick some ass. It's gonna be great. Some great stuff there. So Hayter smashes Saraya into the ring apron, while she is then slammed into the mat by Toni Storm. Something along the lines of Toni Storm gets slammed to the mat, or with a snap suplex. The Storm Snoop suplexes are just very devastating. Okay, I don't want to be on the receiving end of a Toni Storm suplex. Okay, neither do I want to be part of a Hayter breaker. Okay, because Jamie Hayter feels like she would hurt your back for real with the backbreakers that she does. But I still love Jamie Hayter. She's great. So near the end of the match, Rebel is distracting the referee as he normally does, and usually AEW referees are kind of blind as it is anyway. Shida throws it because I didn't even know she came out with the kendo stick, but she threw it into the ring. I'm assuming her goal was to throw it in the ring so Toni Storm can use it to win the match for her team. But Britt Baker grabbed it, hit Toni Storm in the back of it, and then Toni walked into a what the fuck did she call that move again? The Hayter Maker, I believe what she's called it. Yes, I believe she calls it the Haymaker. Oh no, she goes to the Haterade. That's right, the Haterade. I thought it was Haterade. Anyway, she hits the Haterade for the win, and Shida appears to be shocked and looks like that's not what she meant to happen here. But we are, like I said, we're teasing that Shida a heel turn, which I cannot wait for, and I cannot wait for a future feud for Shida and Toni Storm. There's again more programs for the women. That's exactly what I like to see. We got the potential storyline brewing with Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. We have, I don't know where, I mean, they may be whatever's next with Saraya. That depends on when that's going to be here. We got the impending rivalry between Shida and Toni Storm. So great stuff looks to be coming for women's division. And again, no Mercedes Moné. Again, I cannot stress this enough. And this happened with Survivor Series, and I said it during the Survivor Series review. WWE, just like WWE, AEW never did announce that she would be on this show. Didn't promote her. They really technically didn't tease her. They just said she was the boss. So there was like, the only people to really like, the only people to blame about this whole thing is y'all for thinking that, I didn't think she was going to be on the show. She is kind of busy for the next few months. She's got her whole stuff with New Japan and Stardom. I believe she's going to be on the next big Stardom show coming up. I do know that she is penciled in for the February 8th. I believe it's February. Is it February 18th or January 18th? One of those two shows in Los Angeles for Battle in the Valley, where she'll be taking on Hikaru for the IWGP title. But again, no Mercedes Moné. She may appear at Revolution. That's my prediction there on that. So we get so this was weird. Jericho Appreciation Society comes out. But before that, we had a Eddie Kingston Ortiz segment backstage discussing their upcoming tag team match against the Kings of the Black Throne at Malachi Black and Brody King on Rampage. While it's confirmed that Bryan Danielson, like I mentioned earlier, will face Bandito next week on Dynamite. I cannot wait for that. Jericho comes out, talks about their shocking appearance at the most recent PWG show of Battle of Los Angeles, and I seen that. I didn't see clips of it, but I saw the photos I've seen about. I'm like, what is Chris Jericho doing in PWG? This is a weird timeline we're living in. Okay, okay. Like, we're seeing Kenny Omega with the IWGP United States title on AEW television. We're seeing Jericho with the Ring of Honor Championship. We did see him with the Ring of Honor title. Now we're seeing Jericho pop up in PWG. Where's he gonna pop up next? In fucking GCW or no? I don't think they can do GCW shows anymore. I'm trying to think of another indie show that Jericho can pop up at. Jericho at Deadlock or something. I don't know. But they're talking about Ty Mello winning a street fight. Jericho points out Jake Hager, Ricky Starks through a table. Action Andrade was sent to the minor leagues, even though Action Andrade beat him clean in the ring. Starks is here with Andrade on his by side. Andretti. I keep saying Andrade. Andretti by his side. Stark says that they're a group of idiots who couldn't. Basically, this is the point of the whole thing was to get to a match with Jake Hager next week. I'm like, oh Lord, we're gonna have to listen to see Jake Hager in his stupid ass hat on here next week. But that's gonna be a thing here. A weird sexual reference about Sammy Guevara and Ty Conti, Ty Mello. It was kind of lame. But this was a weird segment. This did remind me a little bit of the segment from Raw, episode Nitro from Raw, where not Jeff Jarrett, tells his name, The Rock, and oddly enough, Chris Jericho did a babyface dual promo on Shane McMahon and Booker T. Kind of felt like that a little bit, but it was all right. It was, I mean, Ricky Starks is great. Jericho is actually really great at what he does, but it was something else. Next up, we get the main event. Trios, ladder match, the Trios titles. Death Triangle defending against the Elite. Omega comes out with again, I mentioned this earlier, the IWGP United States title, which is still weird to see Omega on AEW television with a New Japan title, but I'm gonna have to get used to it. This match was just all over the place here. Omega and Pac brawling inside the ring as Penta takes out Omega, backstabber. One point they have this bridge built up between the ring, that normal bridge spot you'll see in the ring with a ladder and between another ladder and ropes. That was set up. At one point, Omega was sent through a table. When the Jackson brothers did a big dive onto Penta or I believe it was Penta onto a table. One of my favorite spots in this match here, because I'm not going to spend too much time talking about this match, because it's very hard to talk about this match in full, but because it's very good, I can't do it justice. So Omega is up there with Phoenix, because of course Phoenix is up there, and he just hits Phoenix with a one-winged angel off the fucking ladder, the bridge ladder, and then which was my favorite transition here, because Pac then tried to hit the Black Arrow. Omega, he gets the knees up. Then Omega just climbs to the top of the ladder, grabs one of the titles, which apparently ends the match. I guess it does. I thought the option the thing is you're supposed to grab all the titles, but that's just me. That's my only nitpick of this match. But everything else was great. And the Elite regain the AEW Trios titles that they were stripped of due to the brawl out. But yeah, this show was phenomenal. I enjoyed everything about the show. This was probably my favorite Dynamite in a long time. I thought Dynamite last week, even though I didn't get to cover it, was great too. And if we're just going to keep getting banger matches with Bryan Danielson leading up to, if that's the story, that Bryan Danielson can out wrestle MJF for 60 minutes with these great matches, like tonight with Konosuke Takeshita, and then next week with Bandito, I'm all for it. And we'll probably get outsmarted by MJF near the end of the 60 minutes. But the Elite are the new AEW Trios Champions, based on the Rampage spoilers. I'm hoping, this is just me hoping, we eventually start the build towards the Elite versus the House of Black for the Trios titles, with eventually, hopefully, the House of Black winning the Trios titles at Revolution. But that was AEW Dynamite. Again, fun show. I have nothing else to say about it. Like, this is a great show. If you like, then we got SmackDown on Friday night. This will be the first SmackDown since Stephanie McMahon resigned from WWE, sent her resignation in, quitting the company per se. We don't know as of right now. Triple H is still head of creative. Hopefully, the plans that he has in place for WrestleMania and Royal Rumble hasn't changed, and I'm still hoping that my big match that I've been told about with Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch is still the plan. So we don't know yet. We'll find that out. So yeah. If you like what you see here, again, hit the subscribe button, comment down below, hit the like button, all that good stuff. The other streaming platforms, like I mentioned before, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Pandora. Maybe not. Again, iHeartRadio is a little iffy because it's still weird. And I believe there's another one that I'm probably forgetting. I'm gonna hate myself for it later. I'm gonna hate myself for this later. No, actually, no. That's all of them there. Follow the social medias: Misfit Podcast TV on Twitter, Misfit Wrestling Pod on Instagram, Misfit Wrestling Podcast on Facebook. Even though I'm not on Facebook very much. and right here on youtube.com/@Misfit Wrestling Podcast. I have been Matt the Misfit. This has been the Misfit Wrestling Podcast. Until Friday Night SmackDown, we're out.